Hello everyone, Ellie here, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about ambassadors. A video I highly recommend, and actually it's not really one single video, but a series by Rattle and Daniela Moonstar. They did a series on SSO Ambassadors where they essentially dive in deep to the realities of what it is to be an ambassador, who gets chosen to be an ambassador, and the dark side that the ambassadors of SSO can unfortunately show and have shown. I decided to do my own little pitch on this and also discuss the fact that SSO ambassadors can be 13 years old. 13 years. What? So I think that's a really good place to start. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and start with giving my own opinion about SSO ambassadors and my whole little spiel about it, because I actually at one point wanted to be an SSO ambassador. And that was before I started constructive criticism. I was kind of kissing up to Star Stable. I know. It's something I'm not proud of. But I was that player at one point several years ago until I realized that kissing up to SSO does absolutely nothing. It does not get me anywhere. And I was being fake. I wasn't being my real authentic self by doing that. So yeah, let's go ahead and start training really quick. If you guys want to throw this video on in the background while you're training yourself, or while you're doing something, you can kind of treat it like a podcast. Go for it. My cats are fighting. Guys! Hey! Peter! You are so rude to your brother sometimes. Okay, they're okay. Sometimes my cat Peter likes to tackle Milo, and Milo just hates it. Anywho, so let's go ahead and discuss my whole story on SSO ambassadors. So a few years ago, like 2 years ago really, I was really interested in trying to get more known on SSO. I think it's when I first started my YouTube channel, when I first started my YouTube channel, when I first started my Instagram, I was like, I want to make it big. I want to be like the other YouTubers and talk about this game, blah blah blah. And, you know, I love this game. And, you know, nowadays I have constructive things to say, and I'm proud of that. Back in the day, however, I was kind of a positive player. Positive in a way that was not authentic. Does that make sense? I would post on Star Stable's comment sections on their most recent Instagram posts, praising them for their updates. Even if I didn't 110% like it, I acted like I did. So I completely understand the whole toxic positivity side, because I kind of did that as well. Which, now that I look back, I'm disgusted that I did that, because that was so fake of me. And it just wasn't the way to go about it. You know, I was younger back then. I wasn't thinking the way that I think now. And it's just very cringy to think about, honestly. But yeah, I wanted to be an SSO ambassador, so I tried to post often, comments, try to befriend other people, also to just get to know people in the community. But yeah, so I had an interest in that. I didn't actually really know what it entailed. I just knew that SSO ambassadors were cool, and I wanted to be one. Yeah, don't feel that way anymore, especially after Rattle and Daniela Moonstar's amazing series on that. It's so informative. I'll link it down below. Please go watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's a really great series. It really sheds light on some information that I don't think anybody really knew. Unless you were an ex-ambassador. So yeah, let's go ahead and flip over to some websites I found and discuss the whole thing about what SSO ambassadors are, why they can be 13 years old. I don't know. They start at 13 years old. 13 years old is a kid. Yeah? A child. Pretty sure they're in middle school. So imagine a middle schooler telling you what to do on a game, essentially. And like being higher up than you on the pedestal. Peter, do not jump up here with that. I love you so much. Okay, so let's flip over to some websites I found. Okay, so the first website I found is actually Luna Silverlion's blog. I didn't even know she had a blog. I follow her on Instagram. She's an SSO ambassador, I think, currently? Yeah. Well, she updated this. Wait, 1/14/22. There's only 26 ambassadors? Okay, so let's read this really quick because I think this is really interesting. On February 2017, Star Stable Online announced its ambassador program. These are outstanding people in the community who value and share the same love that the company feels. They are not selected due to popularity. Are you sure? We'll actually click on some current ambassadors and see the followers they have, because I'm actually very curious on that. They are not selected due to popularity, but on how they represent themselves to other players. Their job is to help do promotions and giveaways and be good role models in the community. Okay, these are just common-ass questions that she posted just to be helpful for people who are like, what the heck is an ambassador? So they're approached by the Star Stable team, availability opens up, new members are accepted. Star Stable looks for players in the community that stand out as influencers and role models. I can't talk, it's like 8 a.m. in the morning. I'm literally drinking coffee as I film this. Players that are active and help others within the community have a higher chance of becoming an ambassador. This is where toxic positivity is born. Born? I was trying to say bred, and then I was like, no, I don't want to use that word born. Okay, and then I just mixed the two. These are where they are born, okay? This is when the little 13-year-olds are like, let me kiss up to Star Stable to become an ambassador and shut down any negative or constructive criticism comments with toxic positivity and or just straight up bullying. Anywho, that's a whole other spiel. I'm a volunteer who works closely with the Star Stable team to deliver feedback while also getting information to share with the community. They're not paid. Not all servers have them. Okay, is there a certain age that you need to be in order to become a Star Stable ambassador? You would need to be at least 13 years of age. I realize this is weird for me to search up, but I'm just trying to show you how young a 13-year-old is. A kid! A literal kid!
What?
If you are under 18, a parent or guardian must approve you becoming a Star Stable ambassador. Oh my god. No! Okay, here's the issue with this, right? Middle schoolers should not... Okay, I shouldn't start it off with that. What was I gonna say? The train left the station and left without me. Frick! Okay, actual children, right? So like 13-year-olds, anybody under 18 is considered not an adult, so therefore they're a teenager/child, right? They're minor. They do not have the mental skills or emotional skills, right? Because they're children, they're still growing, they're still learning how to regulate all those emotions and thoughts and how to A, be mature, and B, express theirselves and their words and how to deal with conflict and all that jazz. They haven't developed those skills in order to become a strong and good, I should say. I really need a thesaurus right now, I'm struggling. To be put in such a mature and high position. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Like, they haven't developed those skills yet, so they're still in that child mindset, and they don't know how to respond appropriately to constructive criticism. They might see that as a threat. They might see that as somebody just trying to hate on Star Stable, when in reality, they are just sandwiching. They're using the sandwiching technique, right? What we talked about in my other video, where I'm talking about toxic positivity, right? So they haven't developed those skills, and that's not their fault. They're kids. They're literally in middle school or they're in high school, right? So they're still living their childhood. They're having fun. They're going to homecoming. They're going to their middle school dances. They're developing crushes. They don't know how to regulate those emotions or mental skills. And that's just because they're young, and they just haven't had the time yet to work on that and develop those. So when they're put in such a mature and, high status position, which, SSO Ambassador isn't the highest status you can be, obviously, but it is a title, right? They're higher up than I am, and I'm just a player. I don't do the stuff they do. I don't get to talk to Star Stable directly and send out promotions and content where, the community can enter and blah, 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 like, so I think personally it's not smart of the Star Stable team to hire in quotation marks. They're not getting paid or anything, nothing like that. They don't get compensation. They're just young. They're young. Under 18 is young. They're still growing. They're still learning. So when conflict arises, they don't know how to appropriately combat that. And that's where I think the issues begin. These are the current ambassadors. There are a few prior people not listed as they are currently employed by SSO or have left the ambassador program. We will not list former ambassadors. What is that name? Drahoslava? Drago Cake? Tube and Instagram. Oh, I can just click on their Instagram link. Okay, hold on. Please hold. 12.8k followers. So remember what SSO said, right? They said it's not based on popularity. It's based on how they represent themselves to other players, blah, 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 blah. Okay, just keep that in mind. It's not based on popularity. Okay, Melissa. 13.5k followers. 22.3k. Now, okay, we do need to keep in mind, I will give them the benefit of the doubt, they might have gained these followers from when they first joined in 2017 to become an ambassador. We do need to keep that in mind. However, it does look bad. It looks a little weird to say not selected due to popularity. When they're all so far popular. Almost 10,000 followers. 3,500, 5,000. Like, these people aren't unknown. Rosemary Clayspoon, 3,700. 9,000. 16.7k. 8,000. 42.7. 28.2. 6,000. I have so many tabs open. 2,000. Okay, so the lowest that we found so far. Still in the thousands. So far, all of these are in the thousands. 11.9k. 3,000. Okay, we're gonna go through a few more. But, like, there's literally a trend. Like, they're all in the thousands. 4,000. Okay, so we see a trend. I'm gonna exit. Okay, now let's look at the SSO website. This was published in 2017, a hot minute ago, but this is what they said. They said, we appreciate our entire community here at Star Stable and look for players who value the same love and support that we share for all of you. To highlight the players spreading positivity, teaming up with ambassadors for things like promotions and giveaways to highlight the awesome content they're creating online. Keep spreading the love, helping others, and being fantastic members. The beginning ambassadors. Yeah, so that's really all they said. Anyways, this video is getting to be really long. I'm sorry. Anyways, so now we've seen that SSO ambassadors, all of them are pretty well known, are in the low thousands, some are in the super high thousands, right? Regardless of what SSO says, they really need to change I think they should just delete the line entirely of we don't choose them off of popularity, because if you do your research and you look at the current ambassadors, they are all pretty well known. And it just kind of looks bad when they say they're not based on popularity, but then all of them are popular. It just kind of like, it puts a bad taste in your mouth. You're like, wait a second, but they are all popular. So what's the deal here? I think that's what I wanted to say on the SSO ambassadors and kind of my 2 cents on it. I think they shouldn't be 13 years old. I think they should at least be 16 and up. Maybe even 17 and up. God, maybe even 18. I don't even know. 13 years old to 15 or 16 is just so young to have such a title in the game and to, you know what I mean? Like, it's a slippery slope. And I think it's just not the right move. That's my 2 cents. And it's just a slippery slope with the whole video that Rattle and Daniela Moonstar created. Like I said, go watch that video if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, because it's pretty dang interesting. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the SSO Ambassador Program. I'm really glad I am not an ambassador. I don't think I would even enjoy it. I'm glad I strayed away from trying to do what I was doing back in the day, and I'm glad that I can healthily admit that I did do that at some point. I feel like I've grown so much since then, and I don't care anymore to kiss up or sugarcoat what I say. Obviously, I'm not gonna be an asshole, but I'm gonna express constructive criticism. I'm going to express changes that I think should be made, because I grew up with this game and I love this game with my whole heart, and when these new games come out, I think I'm gonna flock to those more than this, and it's gonna kind of be like my childhood ending almost. Because I grew up with this game, and, you know, when I shift to better games, you know, these better horse games that are coming out, SSO is just never going to be the same, you know? So that's all I gotta say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like and subscribe button. Stick around if you'd like. Share the video if you think somebody else would enjoy it. And yeah, comment down below. Share your opinions and thoughts. Obviously, use that sandwiching method, you cuties. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!